Hello, hello, hello. I am live again, Okay, so first things first. I look terrible. I know I look terrible. I don't care. I really do not care. It's Thursday. It is what it is. I have no makeup on. It's fine. It's fine. True crime chat today. We've got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to wait and kind of see if there's anybody that trickles in here. So just going to wait around just a little bit and see if that does anything. Welcome to the True Crime Chat. Today we read the news. What is happening? I am so glad you are here. All right, as I wait for people to kind of trickle in, I wanted to talk about something. This will be posted, so you can go back and watch it, but I wanted to talk about something that people kind of, I don't know, ask about sometimes, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. YouTube. And the process of YouTube and all of that. So Code 187 is nearing about 2 years, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I don't know off the top of my head. I think people's perception of YouTube is very different than what it is. I think people think you upload videos, you go viral, and you quit your job and you make all this money and it's the most amazing thing ever and you're happy, the end. And that is far, far from the reality of what YouTube is. You see all these people making tons of money from YouTube now, but the reality of that is they started years ago. What we're seeing now is people who have been on YouTube for years. A lot of people in the industry making YouTube videos say it's probably about the 2.5 year, sometimes more mark where you start growing your audience. And I didn't fully know that. I knew that. I knew it was a long, hard road. I knew that I had another channel before this. Completely different genre. But I hustled. I made videos almost every day. It was like 3 times a week. I was doing nothing but YouTube. And it was a part of YouTube that's hard to get into in the first place. I still love that category, but it just, I'll just be honest. So I had a kids channel. Kids videos are very hard to make. They're very hard to put on YouTube, and they're very hard to keep going, right? Because my child grew out of it. Like, she didn't want to do it anymore. Just every once in a while we'll do it, but she's in school and it's like you don't have all that time to make videos. I still love it. I was a teacher for so many years that it just kind of comes natural to me. But people do not know that. So people think that I've only been on YouTube for 2 years, that I've only been in the podcast world, which I'm new to the podcast world, but that I've only been doing this for such a short time. In the grand scheme of things, yes. I think we started in 2020 with my kids' channel. So that's how long I've been on YouTube. We were like beginning of 2020, right when the pandemic hit. That's when I started uploading to YouTube. And that channel, I mean, it does okay, but it is not monetized. It does not make money. This channel here is not monetized. I am not making any funds from this at all. And I think when people first have this perception of content creation, they're like, it's so easy. You make money so quickly with little effort and da 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 da. There's so much that goes into YouTube. And the reason I wanted to speak on it is I think there's people who don't quite understand what I do for this channel. There's a lot that goes into this. This is not only the research, it is the editing, it is the actually sitting down and talking for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. It is the editing, it's the putting everything together, making sure your tags are good. I post on YouTube as well as Spotify for podcasters. So I have a big job and there's a lot going on that I'm not getting paid for. Yes, I'm monetized over on Spotify, but it is very little. Like, people's perception is that you're making so much money and that you can quit your job and do this. And it's like, yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, but that doesn't come as easily as some people think it does. I will tell you that 100%. I've thought of making some videos about the YouTube process. If you want to see that, please let me know. Because like I said, I've been doing it since 2020. And my other channel, I was posting a lot. So if you want to see that, please write me, let me know. And I will do some more about YouTube. The true crime field was something I was just interested in, right? I had gotten really into true crime. I had listened to so many podcasts, so many YouTube channels. I mean, you look at people like Kendall Ray and you look at people like Bailey Sarian. These are the hard hitters in YouTube. These are the people who are making enough money to live on, right? But you go back, Kendall Ray's been doing this forever. She's been sitting in front of a camera for years. Bailey Sarian didn't necessarily do true crime, but she had been making videos for years and years and years. This is not a quick process. So all of that is to say that my videos are going to be sporadic. I wish that I could sit down and make a video for you guys, do a live for you guys every day. I do not have the time or money to do that. I have to also make sure my family is taken care of. So that's just a quick side note that I wanted to kind of tell you guys about, because people don't know. They see these YouTubers spending all this money and they have these mansions and they're like, oh my gosh, you're a YouTuber, you must make some. No, I don't make anything. I have yet to cash anything from either one. I have a little bit made in Spotify for podcasters, but it is very little. And so I'm saving that back to maybe buy equipment or whatever. But I'm telling you, it's under like $50 that I've made this whole process. So just letting you know, it's hard, but you can do it. Obviously, anybody can do it. All right, so let's get into true crime news stuff. My last live, I think was last week, I sat down and I talked about the whole alien thing going on right now. I wanted to do a little bit more on that. So let's start with that. But this was really fun. What I did was I just pulled up my screen. I told you where I was, on, and we read it and we did it together. I'd kind of like to keep this going. I think it was a really cool concept for a live, and I think you guys liked it as well. So let's get started. So first, what I'm going to do is I just typed into Google alien news because, like my last live said, there was a press conference basically saying that aliens are real. Go back and watch that whole thing if you want updated, but this is just going to be a short kind of what's happening in the last week. So, the first thing that I saw was that I might have to try to find it. This man believes that in the next couple days, we are going to have confirmation. Right? If this is true, it's going to be insane. So, I don't know what page that was on, but it was very interesting. It was, and this is just stuff that I've kind of read. This is a headline from News Nation. The Vatican's silence about UFO report is not surprising. So the world is starting to kind of take some note on this stuff. Because this is huge. This is huge for the world, but this is huge for everyone, So let's just type in, let's see what happens. Alien prediction. I wonder when this was. Self-proclaimed time traveler predicts alien encounter for 2023. It's insane, right? Like, leading scientist predicts we will contact aliens. The hell. Been leaning on this for too long. Okay. Leading scientist predicts we will contact aliens, but it could have a terrible outcome. When was this? Oh, this is 2021. We already contacted them. They're already here, right? Like, they already here. 2022. We want something current. What kind of interests me about all this, and we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, to be quite honest. But we kind of need to know something here. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like it's just kind of up in the air right now. I feel like in the next little while we have to at least know something. Because this is a lot. All right. Well, I can't find that article, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is really in the news right now for his prediction on all of this. Let's see. On Thursday's episode of ABC's The View, Neil deGrasse Tyson was the guest, and he pointed out something that rarely is seen in Congress during the hearings. bipartisanship. Okay, let me read this a little bit and then I will read some out loud. He put, everyone together is asking questions about this stuff. It's a beautiful thing. So what we need is an invading alien army to bring us all together. I mean, I had talked a little bit about this too, that like people think the government is doing it or that there's a purpose behind this, right? To bring us together. I don't think the government benefits from us being together very much, but who knows, right? So that's all really the alien news is just everyone freaking out about it. If I see more headlines, I will bring it more up. But there's been a lot more sightings. There was a sighting of like a fleet. Let's see if I can find that. It's a fleet. Multiple UFOs caught on camera flying over Skinwalker Ranch. This was 6 hours ago. This was posted by K News. They say it was a fleet, and it was a unidentified aerial phenomenon, and it is over Skinwalker Ranch. I need to watch this documentary. Has anybody watched anything about Skinwalker Ranch? I don't really know a ton about it, so I need to watch that. So there's been more sightings. There's been more things going on. So I guess we'll go from there. All right. So my next thing I want to talk about is this story. And I'm not making light of it. I'm not. This is just the most Midwestern thing I've ever heard in my life. Oklahoma man survives after he's stabbed in the head with a flagpole at a Sonic drive-in. Just gonna let that sink in. Yeah. So this is from Fox News. An Oklahoma man stabbed another man in the head with a flagpole at a Sonic drive-in restaurant Tuesday evening, according to Tulsa police. Officers were called around 7:30 to the Sonic in Tulsa Hills at 81st Street in reference to a stabbing. Upon arrival, officers found a male victim with a flagpole through his head. The pole has entered the victim's head beneath his jaw and exited the other side of his head near his right temple area. The American flag was still attached to the pole. The man lived, by the way. So the man who was the suspect is called Clinton Collins. He is charged with stabbing him in the head with a flagpole. Witnesses heard him saying, "That's what he gets. He deserves it." He is quickly taken into custody after they arrived. Collins is charged with maiming after former conviction of a felony. Fox News has reached out to Sonic for a comment. Guys, I just can't. Like I said, I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but this is what we're dealing with in America right now. I'm sorry. It's crazy. It is absolutely nuts. Clinton shoved a American flag through another man's head at the Sonic. That's the most American phrase I've ever heard in my life. Like that's Midwestern to a T. Not all Americans. Let me just say that. Not all Midwesterns even. But Lord have mercy. Okay, so that is the first story we have is the flagpole, Oklahoma flagpole incident. Tulsa, I don't know what's happening over there, but something's going on. All right. So that was the first one that I wanted to talk about. Second that I wanted to talk about was the Alicia Navarro case. If you guys are not familiar with this is a true crime case that has been on everybody's radar for a very long time. I'm sorry, I am like really hoarse. Alicia went missing back in 2019, I believe. Let me make sure I get my dates right because I don't want to misquote this. She was 14 when she was vanished, so make sure. I might mess that up. I'm sorry. I'm not great with numbers. And I believe it was in 2019, I believe. So the story on her was she Yep, 2019, days shy of her 15th birthday. So, Alicia, one day, her mother had a quick conversation with her. She went up to go to bed. In the morning, Alicia was gone. Alicia had a lot of online friends. She had a big community online, and so they didn't know if she ran away or someone took her or what. She left a note. It said, "I will be back. I'm sorry. I ran away." And it looked like she had left. The back door was a little bit open. There was some like blocks, like cement blocks on the fence to where she could get over it. And Alicia's mother has been very vocal that she thought that Alicia left of her own free will, but she was underage at the time. And so that is not of her own free will, because that is a minor, which is a point of contention when we get there. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this case. I don't have anything written down. I'm going all off of memory. So she was gone. She had been missing for 4 years now, and no one knew what happened to her. They didn't know if she was alive. They didn't know if she was with someone, what had happened. But nothing kind of came of this, right? Well, recently, in the last week, Alicia showed up at a police station in Montana. She went missing in Arizona. She showed up in Montana close to the Canadian border. And she said, "I'm alive. I want to get my name off the missing persons list." She is now 18. So what people are thinking is she has been somewhere with someone obviously helping her for this amount of time. Because Alicia couldn't have gotten a job. She couldn't have gotten clothes, food. I mean, there's a possibility that she could have been laying low and that no one recognized her or what have you. But she's been missing for this time, and the cops that are at the Montana police station said that she was well fed, she was well taken care of. Like, this girl had been okay for this many years. Like, what had happened to Alicia in that time? And it's really a mystery. So there's been like some weird updates in the last little while since she came back. I don't think she has told investigators where she was or the truth, or I don't know what has happened. But they raided a house, they took somebody into custody. There was talk that she had either tried to flee or was going to flee to Canada with this person. So we don't really know, but he is in custody. They raided the house, they took him. She looked upset. So I don't think this is something where it's a really hard line, because it doesn't seem like this is something she's upset about. It seems like she in her mind was safe for that last 4 years. It seems like she left, she ran away, and that she now is an adult and is like, I want to get to be able to do things, get a license, all of these things. Why did she? I have so many questions. Why did she run away? Who did she run away with? Why did they help her? Was this person over 18? So forth and so on. I had saw, this was also this update. Man questioned in Montana after Arizona woman reappears following 4 years missing. I had saw where this man, it seems he was much older. But I cannot. Okay, so as many as 10 ununiformed and undercover officers showed up around 8 p.m. and took him away in handcuffs. The man had been living in the apartment. A young woman who resembled Navarro later emerged from the apartment. There has been sightings of her. It just it's very curious, because, like, where was she? Why did she leave? I mean, is there a reason why this girl left? Is there a reason why she wanted to get away from her life? It's a very curious thing here that we're seeing emerge. And we haven't really seen this much. So there is a picture of him. I mean, he seems a lot older. And there was something that I had saw. Ooh, I don't know if this is true, but it says that she was arguing with the man she lived with before reappearing. And it says that she screamed at him, "I will go back." Could this have been something? It was the day before she turned herself in. So one thing to know is that Alicia is on the autism spectrum, and that she is the first ever underage kid to be reported under the silver alert, I believe is what it was called. And that is because she was on the autism spectrum. So her case has been, covered so many times. The thing is, I think the thing that we all need to know here is that we're not going to know all the details unless either he goes to trial or she comes out and says it or something. We're just not going to know. And so I think the thing to know is that Alicia is safe, right? She is alive, she is well, and we kind of need to give her space. She's been MIA. We don't know what she's gone through. The thing I think about it is that the police are viewing her as a victim, which, hello. Thank you for finally, really working on a case, it feels like. Not that I'm anti-investigator, but a lot of times we see people drop the ball. We do, especially on my podcast. So what I'm saying is, thank you so much for treating her as a victim and trying to find out what's happening. Was this something he can be tried for? I don't know. There's so much just unknown with this. But that's the updates. We will see as we go. Kind of, I don't know. We'll see as we go. So let's move on to Larry Gilmore. This is a Pennsylvania newlywed. He was attacked in a hotel while on his honeymoon. Police arrested a suspect in the brutal attack. Just really, really sad. It says that he was found in a puddle of blood, his wife says, and he had just gotten married. So it's like, what? So this was a day after his wedding. He was fighting for his life in the hospital after being attacked in a hotel lobby. The attack happened around 7 p.m. Monday, July 24th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Larry was at the hotel celebrating his honeymoon with his wife. The 26-year-old suspect, Hiko Lamar Calhoun, was seen on surveillance footage putting the 41-year-old victim in a chokehold as he waited for the elevator. So good that they found him. Our prayers and our thoughts go out to Larry. I hope he makes it through everything. This is just horrific. A horrific scene with this. I'm just hoping that he gets the justice that he deserves. There is a GoFundMe because he's in the hospital and this is a lot of trauma. So please go try to find that. I will try to link it below once I get done with the live and I can find it. It's a really, really sad story, but I wanted to touch upon that and I wanted to tell you about the GoFundMe for him because this is something that I feel like if you can give to, because this man was just starting out his married life and now he is in the hospital dealing with some major, major trauma. So go give to Larry if you can. Follow his story, and I will try to update you later with that. Our next story is a crazy one. So I don't know if you guys have been following this at all, but this is of Negasi Zuberi. He held a woman captive in a cinder block cell. I don't know much about this, but I did see the headline and I was like, wait, what? He had held this woman captive in his Oregon home. They're looking for more possible victims in the places that the suspect lived, including the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. Investigators say that Negasi kidnapped his wife from Seattle in mid-July after hiring her as a sex worker. He claimed to be an undercover police officer, even showing her a badge, then flashed a stun gun at her, put her in handcuffs and leg irons, and drove her 450 miles to Klamath Falls, Oregon. That's where he kept her in her cinder block cell set up in his garage. What is happening? This woman was kidnapped, chained, SA'd, and locked in the cinder block cell. She beat the door with her hands until they were bloody in order to break free. But she is a survivor, so police say the victim escaped by punching her way through the screen door. She was able to flag down a driver who called 911. And then he was taken into custody. There could be more victims. This is very disturbing, very dark. If you know anything in the tri-state area, this could be an insane situation here. They tracked him down to a Walmart in Reno, Nevada, where he was with his wife and at least one of his children. There was a 45-minute standoff before he eventually surrendered. The victim, if she didn't know what she did, she wouldn't be here today, and he would not be in custody. So I want to thank her for her bravery. If you believe you are a victim or have any information concerning this case, call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Wow. So what a case there. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that's a lot. Hopefully he gets what he deserves. How the ordinary dad faked being a cop to trap women in a makeshift dungeon. Man. What a crazy case. And I will definitely... He also lived in Oakland prior to Oregon. So... Okay, so I will definitely try to keep you guys updated with this case. Maybe I will do one just about him, but this case definitely is one where if you know any information, please don't hesitate to call. Okay, so we went over Tulsa Man, we went over Negasi, we went over Alicia, we went over Larry Gilmore, and some UFOs. The only other piece of crime news that people are really talking about is the Lizzo scandal. I don't know exactly what all is happening there. We can look it up and see. Lizzo lawsuit. So they're saying that Lizzo's dancers are saying that it was a really hard work environment. And that there was a hostile work environment. There were some things about her, like their weight, like they couldn't lose or gain weight, or they couldn't gain weight, I guess, which is super sad. Like if they had, like if Lizzo ends up being a bad person, like, I give up. Because Lizzo is one of my favorite people in the media because she just seems so body positive and so loving yourself. I really hope that this is not true. But that is the last part of news that I kind of wanted to touch upon. We've talked about a lot today. I am going to get off here. I appreciate every single one of y'all. If you guys like me doing these lives, please comment because I love doing them. Also, comment a day where you guys think it would be good for me to do a live. Today is Thursday. I don't know what day I did mine last week. Let's see if we can find what day I did it. Lives. 5 days ago. So it seems like I did it on Saturday last week. Was that a little bit of a better day? Maybe I can do one Saturday, either this Saturday or next Saturday. I would love to chat with you guys and know more. Maybe because it's a Thursday night, there's not a lot of people online. But thank you guys so much for being here with me. I appreciate you. If you could give me those likes, those subscribes. Like I said at the beginning of the video, YouTube is hard. So that is one way that you can support me in everything that I do. So I appreciate you. Follow my TikTok, follow my Instagram, follow my Facebook because I'm posting in there as well. My TikTok, I actually do extra content. So definitely head over there and see if you like that stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you for being here.